Oh no! We made a mess. Don't tell the children. Welcome back, my Suba crew. Today on this video, we're going to be installing the CX Racing Oil Cooler. I know some of you have been looking forward to that. Me too. With the SGood top mount intercooler location mounting brackets for the oil cooler. Those pieces finally showed up. Let's take a look. Over here, so the brackets are just these 4 simple brackets. What do we got? So here's the 4th one. We got our oil cooler we did, and we stenciled. I'll link that up here. Check it out. Now, I had read that the CX Racing Oil Cooler was pretty much the same size and shape as the Mishimoto version. So, with the SGood mounting brackets, they can make a Perrin specific one and a Mishimoto specific one. I went with Mishimoto because the CX was supposed to match that. It looks pretty close. I'm going to have to work it in. There's some railings that come on the oil cooler. So I'll probably do some time lapse, see if I can fit that in. Worst case scenario, I might have to shave some material off of the brackets to get it to fit better. What else? It comes with the SGood, like 12 nuts and screws. So you got 2, 2, 2, same on the other side. On this side, it's going to take this guy. So those will go around here. Then this hole is going to go to that top mount intercooler bracket, that factory bracket attached there. On this side, this piece. So we got 2 holes over here. You want this hole higher up so that when you're fitting it, and these pieces on both sides, so like this one, for example, is going to go on the inside of this bracket. So it'll line up there. It'll be at kind of an angle. So it matches up with a bolt location that goes on the intake manifold where the driver's side top mount intercooler bracket used to be. So these SGood brackets, on one hand, so I was really excited that someone makes this. So first of all, let's think about this. It is a very specific part, right? And so it's not mass produced. They made them to order. They are powder coated, which is nice, and they do have some very specific angles to them. If you have the capability and the tools, James, if you're watching this, you'd be like, I could knock that out in like 20 minutes. And he's right, he could. Anyway, me being impatient, I ordered this one even though it took 2 weeks to show up, so how'd that work out? Anyway, we're gonna give it a try. The other thing that kind of made me sad, so it's a very specific product, and I can understand that. Powder coated, that costs money as well. Yeah, these 4 little brackets, $185. I think I paid like $220 for the oil cooler itself. It's gonna look cool installed, right? Right? What else are we gonna do? Some upcoming stuff. I don't know if I'll throw it in this video or not. I got some gear oil, official Subaru stuff. What do we got? 75 W90. So that is for the transmission oil. I'm up past 30,000 miles on the 2017 WRX, and we'll do the transmission oil. The front differential also resides in there, and we'll do the back differential as well. Oil filters for when we're doing this part on this oil cooler install. I have the single exit Invidia exhaust, so it kind of left an empty portion on the driver's side. So I've been running a tow hook there, and they fade away and the color washes out over time. So I've replaced them a couple times. Might throw that on too, upcoming soon. All right, let's see if we can get this oil cooler on there. I think first I'll try to see if I can get those brackets to all fit together. If not, we may need a trim. So let's do a little time lapse and we'll go from there. Good news, everybody. I didn't have to trim it. All right, you might have seen, get a 10mm nut driver. These things are great. Other end, you can get a 10mm spanner wrench or a socket wrench. They weren't exact and they were a little tight. So when you're able to thread one side, just get it threaded. Don't tighten it down yet, so you have enough space on the other side. But you know what? I'm super stoked. That fit actually really well. So this is almost a one-for-one kind of knockoff of that Mishimoto. So these brackets are working very well. We'll see if we can get those sidearms on. Might not tighten them down completely yet, but we'll get those on there and see how that fits up. Locally dokily, neighborino. Alright, I kind of jacked up the first time and then got this upside down. After I said, get that middle one, the higher point. Yeah. Anyway, it's on correctly now. These weren't 100% correct, but pretty dang close. I'm pretty happy. Again, leave them a little loose on each side until you get both sides threaded down. I'm going to leave these loose until I get them oriented. Intake manifold side, passenger side, intercooler bracket. Getting late tonight. We'll finish this in the morning. Get those sandwich plates and the rest of the oil cooler pieces along with the pipes. Get it all installed. Let's see what we got going on for this situation. So, no more top mount intercooler. Now have a front mount intercooler. We got that extra space. We got a big ugly hood scoop. Not doing anything functionally. Let's put it to use. What do we got? Alright, so that is a factory top mount intercooler bracket. I've been using that for my oil catch can. So the SGood bracket is going to share that space on that side. Second verse, same as the first. Except we got more crap on this side. Intercooler piping is attaching at that exact same bolt location, as well as the driver's side front or top mount intercooler bracket that I was using for my other catch can on the crankcase side. So the trick is going to be whether or not that SGood bracket is going to interfere as it's going that direction, so we might have to relocate that catch can again. So over here, here is the CNT Racing oil cooler with the SGood brackets attached. I left them a little loose, so I got enough hangle in my jangle to line that up where it needs to go. Then this side comes down at that angle to go to the intake manifold in the CNT Racing box of goodies. We got the AN style lines for the oil. I picked up a wrench for those so you don't mangle those with vice grips or your teeth or whatever you're using. Then, so this is the sandwich plate. Goes on top of the existing oil cooler. Then the oil in and out. So looking at it over here, obviously we got a Canon oil filter on there right now. So these aftermarket ones are going to be too long. I'm afraid I'm going to have interference once we have this stack of stuff going on with the hood. So I'm going to stick with the OEM oil filters that are not as tall. Once the oil filter's off, we'll have a sandwich plate on the oil cooler. So in the instructions, there is thermostatic and non-thermostatic ways of doing it, basically meaning whether you're going to use the factory oil cooler or not. If you choose not to, basically you'll just bypass this coolant line and just piece them together so it's not going through there anymore. Then your stack won't be as tall. So sandwich plate rubber sealant. We'll put some oil on there, stick that down. Then on top of that, the lines will feed through here. Again, oil our O-ring when we stick it down. Someone I saw had trouble, I think it was leaking from the bottom of this portion. He said he used a gasket maker, but I'm not sure how, because you got pretty much zero bezel on the outside of that O-ring. So I'm going to run what I brung and see how it goes. I think I will put some Teflon tape on the threads just for fun. On the sandwich plate, if it did happen to leak on that side, you got more material to work with if you did need to put some gasket maker on. Hopefully it doesn't leak. We'll just have to see how it goes. I think I will just change the oil, even though it's only been a few hundred miles since I did the tune and changed the last. That's all right. That's all right. Let's start getting that mocked up. I guess I'll change the oil first. I'll show you. I have one of those oil drain valves, Fumoto, something like that. I'll put a link in for an Amazon description thing if you want to check it out. So nice not having to buy those crush washers every time you change your oil. It's just a valve. I've had no problem with it leaking in like 4 years. It's been great. We'll take a look at that and we'll get the rest of it mocked up. Wanted to give you a quick look of what that drain valve looks like. So it just has a little lever and that spout just opens up. Super simple. Alright, I've got the oil draining. All right, we got the Teflon tape on our threads, on the oil cooler, and on the feed sandwich piece. Now the fun part, we have to get oil in the oil cooler. Now I think it's best to do that before we get it mounted. But how to do that without it spilling all over the place while we're mounting it is the question. It did come with these caps from the factory. I might put those on while I'm trying to adjust it, but now I'm worried it might mess up my Teflon tape I just did. So we'll see, or some combination of putting on the pipes before I mount it. Okay, so I just got some Valvoline 5W30 full synthetic. Feel free to complain about my choices in the comments. So we got a very narrow opening on these, so I'm going to have to go all the way down to my teeniest funnel. And then I might double funnel it. Is that a thing? I'm going to make it a thing. I don't know if we're going to fit a whole quart in there. Probably not, probably half a quart. Let's see what happens. Probably make a mess, that's my guess. Oh no! We made a mess. Don't tell the children. Alright, I was expecting that. So, by my guesstimation, I used a little less than half a quart. So, use less than half a quart. So the trick is now to figure out how to keep the oil in there while we're installing this. So I think that I'm probably going to attach the hoses and just keep them lifted up, get some gravity assist so it's not spilling all out everywhere. So we'll get those attached and maybe drape them upwards somehow so they're not leaking out too bad. We'll give that a try. Alright, let's get it on. So, I want to clean off our pieces. Where did my other piece go? 1 second. Yeah, so just make sure those are pretty clean. On this feed section, it also has these additional outlets. So I believe that, I don't know, could be going to an additional oil cooler or some other crazy setup you have going on. Obviously, we're not using those. Tighten them down with a 14 mil. Then in the kit, it has another piece similar to this with threads on both sides. If you weren't using the factory oil cooler, since we're going to retain that piece, we're going to use 2 of them. I did put Teflon tape on the one that's going to be attaching this way. So your order is going to be sandwich plate, one of these guys, then the other sandwich plate with the feed lines, and another one of those. So we'll get these oiled up on each side, start putting it together. So on each of these coupling pieces with the threads, so we got the first sandwich plate and this first guy, same as that. I believe these are 24 millimeter. I checked out the Mishimoto official instructions and they said 30 to 35 foot-pounds. Well, my torque wrench took a shit, so I'm gonna eyeball it. Pretty big socket, so if you don't have a 24 mil, you might need to pick one of those up. So we'll just get it on there. Good and tight. I'm not going to go too crazy on that, but it feels pretty snug. Okay, next piece. We got these oiled up. Bring that in. So this we might leave a little loose until we got everything lined up how we want it. Carefully not to cross thread. All right, no more spilling oil. So this is what I did. I MacGyvered it. This is some Velcro strap. Gravity assist, right? Probably not completely necessary, but who knows. On this side, again, I'm also using that bracket with the oil catch can system. So I'm kind of doubling up on that mounting location. But we got it in there. That side wasn't too bad. On this side was a pain. Same reason why I'm retaining this top mount intercooler bracket to use as an oil catch can bracket. So, and we also have this intercooler pipe that also wants to be attached to that same location. So I have 3 pieces of metal all trying to move in different angles. So that one was a pain in the ass. You may or may not have that same problem. So should we get the rest of it plumbed up? Let's go for it. Getting closer. Hell yeah, we got a top mount oil cooler, boys and girls. That's freaking awesome. Hopefully it won't explode on us, right? You can decide how to route it however you want. I'm just going under the intercooler pipe there. But look, that's going to line up perfectly with that snorkel. I was saying before that after the tune, I was getting temperatures up to 224 degrees. And we want to bring those down. Hopefully we get 20 degrees cooler with this thing as advertised. We'll get it primed and start it up. Okay, let's see if we can prime this. Now, I believe what you're going to want to do is we'll turn this to the on position, then put the gas pedal all the way down, floor it, turn the car over for 5 seconds while keeping it floored, turn it off, turn it back on normally, let it run for 5 seconds, then turn it off again. Okay, on position, flooring it. It shouldn't start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let go. I'm going to turn it off for 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Start it up normally. And check for leaks. So far, so good. Time will tell. I think that looks pretty awesome. Tell me what you guys think. I think that's a great way to reuse that location. So I was watching the official Mishimoto install video for their oil cooler. Again, that installs up front by the radiator. I can't fit that with a front mount intercooler. So this is a great way to repurpose that spot. But on their video, after watching it, I'm pretty sure that's the exact same core. So if you want to save like $400, that's definitely the way to go. We'll see how it turns out. If I have any updates, I'll let you know. Thank you for watching my video. I appreciate it. If you like this sort of content, think about hitting the subscribe button. If you like it, hit the like button. Thanks for watching, and I'm out.